That's nice and loud.
Yeah, that's a good volume.
Everybody, welcome once again to another edition of the Sepsiss Show. Music, art, culture, social media, current events, and more. We are a band. We are a non-professional. I've been introducing us as a non-professional band lately.
Why?
Huh?
Why?
Because it gets us attention.
Oh, okay.
Yeah, like when it's it's tongue in cheek. It just means we're independent. Then we're an independent band, and we're also a local hard rock and heavy metal band from Manchester, New Hampshire. So this is our band page. Amongst various pages, you can find us on Twitch and YouTube and all the other usual suspects. We're on Whim, we're on Bam, we're on Wham, we're on Snap, we're on FAP, we're on all the pornography sites. You can look us up on all the porn. Just type in sepsis porn. Oh, why is that funny? Okay. But what we do here on this podcast is we cover topics in music, the music industry, current events. We cover stories in rock and roll, social media, sometimes like gaming and social media. I'm trying to do everything. Did I say everything? That's not cooking. We don't do cooking.
But we do cook though.
But we do cook.
We've had like cooking segments, but on like a different show, not here on the podcast.
Not on the podcast. This podcast, we cover the topics and conversations and challenges that other promoters, other rappers and rockers, and a lot of social media influencers probably wouldn't cover. We cover the stories, the topics, and conversations that other local musicians are terrified to talk about. They're simply too well behaved. We cover the stories and the topics and the conversation here. So you don't have to. So that's it. Welcome to the show. We're going to jump right in it. I know you're excited. Lexi's excited.
Hell yeah.
For some more Ronnie Radke.
Oh, yay.
I always like to take a few seconds and just look at everybody. I don't think we take enough time to observe, because that's what we do here on the show. We observe, we conversate, and we conversate because conversations are the ingredients to hope.
Definitely.
New allegations against Ronnie Radke, against him over snitching. This is something you don't really expect in hard rock and heavy metal. Like being like a brown guy growing up in hip hop in like 90s gangster shit. I went to prison because of rap music. I went to prison because of rap music. I did 12 years in the state prison here in the state. And if you walk it all the way back, I mean, a good ingredient to me going to prison was having an idea about myself, right? That either you had to join the guys on the corner or you had to be the boys in blue. That was just a general, you had to pick a team. You know, you're going to be in the gang or you're going to be with the police.
Which one?
So you don't, I know I'm always caught off guard in hard rock and heavy metal when I hear stories about snitching.
Yeah.
Or like gangster shit or like street stuff. Because, you know what I'm saying? As a black guy, I joined hard rock and heavy metal because you didn't have to keep it real or pop somebody or do 10 years. That's kind of why I play guitar, Lexi. so I don't have to go to prison.
Makes perfect sense.
I wanted to make like in rap music. If you make music, there's this risk that, you know what I mean, you could go to prison soon. At least that's what rap music was about when I was rapping. I mean, now it's about, jewelry and privileged people shit. During my time, it was about being homeless and, civil rights and, black oppression, police brutality. That's the kind of stuff we rapped about. Getting locked up for your skin color. That's the type of shit I rapped about. So I'm always caught off guard when I hear all this like street stuff. But I do know Ronnie did some time, didn't he? New allegations over him snitching and betrayal. Do you want to read this one? No.
I said yeah.
Oh, I thought you said like. I thought you
yeah.
were. I thought you were apprehensive.
I was deciding, but the answer was going to be yes.
Forgive me.
It's okay. Falling in Reverse frontman Ronnie Radke's former prison bandmate has come forward with detailed allegations about their time together at SDCC in 2009. He shared his account of recording music with Falling in Reverse singer in a post on Reddit. Oh, dang. Jason Sparks, rhythm guitarist and main songwriter for Panic Chamber, revealed his side of the story about collaborating with Radke while both were incarcerated. Oh. He goes, considering I'm one of the guys who wrote and recorded the song Time Will Tell with Ronnie Radke while in prison at SDCC in 2009. I figured I'd throw my hat in the ring and tell it how it happened and clarify a few things, Sparks said. Whoa. Sparks explained he had established a music program in prison before Radke's arrival.
Sounds like my life.
Yeah, that's cool though.
Yeah, that's good.
Anytime I hear that, that's kind of cool.
Means he was doing something good with his life when he was in prison. I respect that.
Hell yeah. He goes, prior to Ronnie showing up at the yard, I had spearheaded a music program which was located in an unused side of the gym.
That sounds just like my life. Was I there?
I don't know.
That's
Maybe.
funny. That's funny.
He goes, I personally donated $2,000
Yeah, I didn't do
in
that.
equipment to get it up and running.
Yeah, I never did that. I wasn't there. I'm not going to take any credit for that. That's crazy. Good for him.
Right?
No, that's very positive. I know I'm being funny, but
That's fucking awesome.
very positive. No, that's cool, man.
To those not in the know, there are some of the most musically talented people you'll ever come across in a prison.
I love that. That's cool, man. That's cool.
He goes, we have managed to sneak by a 8-track digital recorder that was built into a Digitech GNX 3rd gen guitar processor through the property room, because honestly, unless you had prior knowledge, it was there. You'd never know. We, Ryan Lewis and I, along with others on various sides of projects, had written and recorded some legitimately radio playable songs, but the missing piece had always been a solid vocalist. Wow. Sparks noted that the collaboration began after Radke joined their group. Imagine my surprise one day while watching the news in my cell and learning the former lead singer of Escape the Fate was coming to prison. I've never heard of them or Ronnie, but hearing him referred to as a rock star certainly piqued my interest.
That's tough. Like, you hit the yard and like, you know what I mean? Like, you're already getting lined up. You just don't. I guess what I'm saying is you don't want to pique people's interest in prison for any reason. I don't give a fuck if you got a great jump shot or you cut hair. You don't always want. It's not always a great idea to pique people's interest. I guess there's nothing you could do. He's a public figure. He's going in the joint. Everyone's gonna find out. I get it. Shit's crazy.
Right. He continued, after acclimating himself to the routine of prison life, we began work on what would become Time Will Tell, a lyrically scathing shot at his former bandmates in ETF. We used a riff I had already written, coupled with Ronnie's lyrics and Ryan's lead solo. We didn't let Ronnie in on the fact that we had recording capability until we realized we had a banger on our hands, and even then it was with caution that we sat him down and explained how low-key this had to remain, and that under no circumstances was he allowed to tell anyone or speak about it over the phones because they are monitored. In the meantime, Ryan and I, being no strangers to drug addiction ourselves, began noticing a marked change in his behavior. No judgment, just concern for what we had going on, and encouraging more showering due to the onion smells. It's true I paid his debt twice to keep him from getting jammed up and derailing the entire project before it even got started.
All right, let me translate some prison shit, because I have to translate a little bit for those that don't know. So, what he's saying is that while they was in the joint, that Ronnie might have had some substance abuse issues, and because of that, his hygiene had taken a toll, and he got behind on a debt, so as to not let it get out or anything happen to him or anything to complicate the project. He pulled some strings and paid his debt while they were in prison, so the story wouldn't get out and people could go about their lives. And I'm going to tell you something right now. That shit happens in prison all the time. Melissa knows right now somebody that, very talented individual that got into a big prison debt and just never made it out, never made it into the industry. It happens. This is normal stuff. It does happen. There's nothing really to, I mean, this is what happens, guys. And you know, when you're doing drugs and alcohol and goofing off doing the prison stuff, this is a little snapshot of, you know, suburban American kids and going to the joint, fucking around too much. All right, where's the snitching?
He goes, however, complications arose when prison officials discovered their recording activities. Unbeknownst to us, he was already under investigation for compromising staff because they were seen watching ETF videos on YouTube in the counselor's office in Unit 5 and told on Ronnie. In his excitement, celebrated that night, and with his inhibition lowered, with his inhibition, is that the word, inhibition? INHIBITION.
Hold on, where you at? Point to it. Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah, you got it.
Okay. And with his inhibition lowered, called someone on the phone and bragged about the song.
Oh, okay. I understand.
Okay.
All
Sparks revealed, obviously, they were listening in real time because of the investigation. Ryan and I got called into the investigation office where we saw all our equipment, spread out and were grilled about this recording device.
Oh, I see what happened. So he with all the excitement in the news about the success of the song, the gentleman is claiming that Ronnie got on the phones, which are recorded and monitored by the administration and in-house staff at the prison, that leaked the information that they were recording music. Is that what I understand?
Yeah. Uh-huh.
Okay. All right. That's all right. Okay. I hear that. Is this something more to this?
I think so.
Okay, all right.
I don't know. The situation deteriorated when authorities pressured Radke for information about the recording equipment. They took it to Ronnie.
This is a quote, everybody.
Uh-huh.
This is what the man said.
That's what he said. They took it to Ronnie and threatened him with hold time.
So yeah, the police grabbed him up and said, "Hey man, if you don't tell us what's going on about this, you're gonna, you know, what I mean, if you don't give us details about this, then we're gonna put you in the hole." Okay.
If he didn't show them how it worked, and unfortunately not being schooled enough, he broke down and admitted it wasn't the one, Spark said. It was a depressing situation, but I'll reiterate, I hold nothing against Ronnie other than his refusal to acknowledge the people who had his back and embraced him in there.
So he don't really care. He don't really care about the dry snitching after all. He's saying he's willing to forgive him for the. I wouldn't even say that he like intentionally informed on him, but he gave up information on what we call in prison dry snitching. For those of you that don't know at home. I don't know if that hits with anybody at home, but that's, you just don't, I mean, yeah. I don't think he didn't drink. That's not terrible. No, I'm saying between these two folks that are, you know, like civilian folks, I mean, they ain't gangsters or nothing like that. What do you want from them? I thought he meant like he told on some crime or something.
Yeah.
That's not really snitching. He didn't tell him no crime or nothing like that. But I get where like in prison they would consider that dry snitching. It's not snitching on a crime. He's not a co-defendant to some weird, you know. Anyhow, there you go. People are so excited about that stuff all the time. It's hard to believe that that's exciting. Sorry, everybody. I would have thought that would have been more exciting. All right, check this out. Ex-offices raided in France as prosecutors investigate child abuse images and deepfakes. Now, I'll say that is unfortunately interesting.
Yeah.
Now, look, this is like one of those situations where I say again, don't be one of those people who are watching me and think that I'm happy about this. Sometimes we will observe and we will report. And I just want to make it clear that we're not always happy about the things that we report. We're not always happy to analyze one of these stories and find out that the details are something that makes everybody uncomfortable with. But we did warn you of that. Like when we were covering the P. Diddy story. Do you remember that, Lex?
Yeah.
I had to remind people all the time, we are observing, we are conversating, we are reporting the emerging truth. But nothing, and as entertaining as it may be, we did not choose that for Diddy. We didn't choose those circumstances for him. So, and we weren't judging them either. So I think the idea is that we're excited or like happy that these circumstances are happening to people. But I have to tell you, if we were happy about Diddy abusing people, then that would make us pretty sick ourselves. If I was right, so like when we cover stories about Marilyn Manson and that the statute of limitations, let me put it this way, when we report on stories with Marilyn Manson and the statute of limitations no longer protecting him from analyzing the details about allegations concerning his sexual abuse, when we cover the stories about that. It's not that we're happy that those things are happening, because the idea of somebody getting hurt or abused are upsetting, unfortunate. When we talk about the Epstein files and the possibility of children being abused, we might observe it and report on that, but that's not something that we're happy about, because that would mean that we are equally happy about the very reality, the truth that, oh my goodness, these people really are being abused. We would love for Diddy to be a hoax. We would love for Marilyn Manson's sex abuse stories to be a hoax, because that would mean there were no abused women and children. If the Epstein files were a hoax, it would be good news to me. I would come on and I would report. I would come on to the internet and report, hey, you know what, everybody? Turns out, Diddy never did anything. Marilyn Manson never did anything. Donald Trump never did anything. Jeffrey Epstein never did anything. It's all been a big hoax. I would love nothing more to report that to you. I would love to report to you that Elon is not involved in cyber crimes against children. I would love to say that he's not being investigated for that. That would be better news. We don't have a good time. It's not my wish. I don't hope that Elon Musk and Donald Trump are abusing children. It just happens to be that that is a very real possibility. And because that's a real possibility, that gives us the motivation to examine the details. I think I gotta just...
Yeah, you gotta lay it all out there.
Right. We're not covering Marilyn Manson stories like, oh, goody, look, statute of limitations didn't work on his behalf. We're not doing that. I'm not sitting around going, oh, goody, I can't wait. I hope 20 more girls are assaulted by Donald Trump and Jeffrey Epstein. I don't hope for that. That's not something. I wish it was different. I wish we lived in a different world where we did not have to examine whether these things were true or not. But because there's so much evidence contrary, it's within our responsible depth of our intellect, our contribution to the planet. We owe it to ourselves, and we owe it to the victims of all these people to at least take a few minutes and analyze the details and the validity. And it looks like France is doing that.
Yeah.
X offices raided in France as prosecutors investigate child abuse, images, and deepfakes. We all knew that Elon Musk wanted to own Twitter so he can commit cyber crimes and bully people and cyberbully and create fake bots and accounts. We all knew this, right?
Mm-hmm.
Take it away, Lex.
Paris AP French prosecutors raided the offices of social media platform X on Tuesday as part of a
preliminary. It's a weird word. It means like pre-production. Think of it like that. You know how we have pre-production?
Preliminary.
Right. You know how like we're doing music videos, or we're doing like we're checking off all the boxes when we're doing like storyboarding.
Yeah.
That's preliminary production that we're doing.
That's preliminary.
Yeah, it's a new word to you. Now watch. Now when you read it back, you'll get it.
Okay.
Watch. It'll all make sense.
Thank you. X on Tuesday. French prosecutors raided the offices of social media platform X. Look at me trying to cut corners. Social media platform X on Tuesday as part of a preliminary investigation into allegations that include spreading child sexual abuse images and deepfakes.
You see how hard it was for you to say that? Right when you got to spreading. Anytime you see Elon's Pizza spreading anything, you know it's going to get ugly.
It's going to get really bad. It's already downhill.
He's a colonizer.
This is just the first sentence.
When colonizers spread, someone's going to need a fucking condom. Someone's going to need antibiotics. When Elon Musk
and a lawyer.
When Elon spreads his pizza and he spreads his legs and his musk, you can bet someone is going to need some antibiotics.
Doctor.
That's crazy, right?
Yeah.
Let's go. Because you guys know that this guy wanted to build sex abuse robots. Let's do it.
Here we go. X and Musk's artificial intelligence company XAI also face intensifying scrutiny from Britain's data privacy regulator, which opened formal investigations into how they handled personal data when they developed and deployed Musk's artificial intelligence chatbot Grok.
They deployed his Musk. Like what? Like what?
Why do they say it like that?
Because remember he developed. I don't even like repeating stuff like this, but the guy created Grok, and it was online at one point calling itself Mecha Hitler. I mean, and hold on, to be upfront, I think that sometimes Elon pretends to be Grok. And I think sometimes Grok pretends to be Elon. And I think Elon's got a bunch of little bot friends. And they all fucking bot fuck each other.
Sounds like he has an identity crisis.
Well, ask Jennifer Welch. She'll know, right?
Yeah.
That's her last name, right?
Yes, that's her last name.
She knows.
I feel bad for her.
Me too.
But she's got it. She's got it under control. And she's had it. Anyway. Grok, which was built by XAI and is available through X.
Takes half a gallon of water to fucking lie to you. You know what I'm saying?
Right. Sparked global outrage.
Think about it this way. A fucking pool in Arizona is getting drained. There's a pond in Arizona that is becoming drained and dehydrated. So Grok can produce and manufacture child abuse images. Just wrap your head around that. It takes a teaspoon of water, okay, for you to type in or search for something in AI. Think of how much water, think of how many gallons of water it takes to make deep fake feet pictures of Taylor Swift. You look at Taylor Swift's feet for 5 gallons of water.
This place makes me sick.
Someone's draining. I'm telling you,
sick.
There's a reservoir. You know what I mean? And
once was a reservoir.
There's a reservoir in Utah that's being drained right now so people can make AI rap music.
This place is disgusting. It's disgusting.
Oh, my God.
This place is so gross.
No, but it's fun to talk about it, though, on the internet.
It is fun.
Because it really is. We don't need any other content.
No.
So basically what's happening is America, they would never prosecute a Skinner or a rich billionaire sex offender or a cyber criminal. I mean, last I knew, Elon Musk was from another country. I don't think Elon or Jesus is American. And I think also that he's also not a politician. So I'm not playing politics here. Remember Amy?
Yeah.
Okay. This is reinforcing my point. I told you guys that a lot of tech bros, their big equilibrium, their big end game is to make ultra realistic AGI cartoon baby porn. I told you guys they were going to do this. I fucking told everybody on the internet that they were going to do this.
You did.
Jesus.
That was an episode.
All right, yeah, so you guys remember Amy. You have never, at this point, anytime you look up, anytime you've seen any reports on AI girlfriends or Meet Amy, the AI sex or chat bots, there's one thing you notice about AI chatbots. If you've seen any examples, there is no AI girlfriend sites or apps or imagery where the bots look a day over 30. They don't.
That's true.
They're just, and I'm just for, it could be debatable whether they're 14 or 22, 5. But I'm telling you, you have never seen, go look up right now. Actually, don't look it up. Don't look that up. Because I don't want you to get in trouble for looking up something the wrong way. Don't look up nothing like that. Take my word for it. Or take it from France.
They're the ones that are actually doing something about this.
Right. America doesn't have the guts to put somebody like Mark Zuckerberg or Jeff Bezos. They don't got the guts to put them out front in public to answer questions by people like you and me.
Yeah.
You know, if you're not part of some secret special clubs, we'll never know the real intention, if any at all, with all of this shape-shifting technology. They all told us that we were going to join and make friends and be able to play chess with people in Yemen. That doesn't appear to be the case. I told you guys that they were going to make cyberbullying and gambling machines, digital plantations, and cyber sexual abuse, reproductive abuse, stalking, and of course, the tech bros end game was to have a digital plantation where we have slaves and robots doing our chores for us so we can have more time to manufacture our girlfriends and playmates. And as we're seeing here, seemingly cyber crimes with images created on Grok. And where does Grok create these images, and where does Grok get this data to create the images? He gets it from you. He gets it from your family photos. He gets it from your teenage, your daughter's Instagram. They get them from your baby pictures. They get them from the cookout pictures. They get it from the catalogs, the child models, pageants, Girl Scouts, all the websites and all the pages and all the images that are online. AI crawls it and reproduces inappropriate and seemingly illegal material. And here's the crazy part. If you painted a picture of a naked baby, they'd take you to jail. But not Elon Musk, though.
No.
If you at home created some kind of software that created child imagery, you'd go to jail.
Mm-hmm.
And then you'd have to answer publicly to your peers, and people would ask you questions and examine the details of why the fuck you were doing that. And forgive my anger, but if it was you, anyhow.
Right.
I'd be interesting to see what they do with this.
Right.
I know that there are several countries and places that are actually taking a stand. Oh, you know what? That's what I wanted to bring. Oh, jeez. This fucking guy. That's not what I want. I wanted this one first. Just because I want to go over it.
What, that one? Okay.
Yeah, and this kind of goes a little bit. This is chained into.
Do you want me to read it? Do you want to read it?
I got this one.
Okay.
So because I have to jump around. AI slop is transforming social media. I mean, surprise everybody. Like, if you guys are getting tired of this, or you guys are getting tired of the topics on the program, then be tired of the internet, because that's all there is. It's cats and AI slop and butts and feet and dick pics and gambling, right? And scam apps. And does anybody need any pins or patches? Let's not forget them. This is what we're doing.
Mm-hmm.
We're not going to the library.
Right.
All right. So
Everyone's on the internet.
that's what I mean.
So if you've been on the internet, you may have come across what we're about to explain right here.
The general point is if we could cover something else, the nature of the show is to cover current events, and this is it. You know, Bad Bunny at the Super Bowl, and cats and AI slop, and people getting ripped off, and American citizens getting shot in the face by Homeland Security and DHS and ICE workers, stuff like that. So that's why we talk about it. All right. So I just wanted to jump down here because I want to speak on a couple of, you guys are familiar with AI slop and all of that. And that's not why I pulled this out. I pulled this out to read a little bit of this just to you. In October, during another jubilant earnings call, Meta CEO Mark Zuckerberg happily declared that social media had entered a third phase, which is now centered around AI. Now, I'm saying that because you guys can remember in past programs me saying that in the beginning, they didn't introduce this technology, websites, and apps. They didn't tell us, hey, sign up for this stuff, and in 15 years from now, we're going to be hijacking pictures of your daughter and creating AI slop on Instagram. Nobody ever told us that. This shit is like an R, and when I say this shit, social media, and I'm going to keep it 1,000, y'all. Logging on to social media is like logging on to a horror film. It's like logging on to anything and everything but what you signed up for. From bum fights, hood fights, people assaulting each other and disrespecting each other, racism. You did not sign up to social media ever thinking that one day you would be in a constant momentum and scroll loop of violent assaults, aggressive politics, extreme religion, nationalism. You never in your mind would have signed up for social media if you thought or even took a peek at what it is today. So here we go. In October, during another jubilant earnings call, Meta CEO Mark Zuckerberg happily declared that social media had entered its third phase. See, they didn't tell you that they were going to do this shit. They never told you sign up for Facebook and you're going to go through phases.
No.
They never said that.
That was not in any... No.
Now listen to this. Quote. I'm going to put it up on the screen so everybody can get with me on this.
Look at your screen.
This is when I say social media can become anything. It can become bum fights. It can become the Bible. It can become Wall Street. It can become a flea market. It can become... You ain't going to play music on it. You can watch bum fights, physical assaults, police brutality, all on Facebook and Instagram. but you couldn't play a song. You couldn't play music on social media without the SWAT team showing up. You can't be an original musician on social media, but you can, from morning to night, you can get constant notifications to see remixes, cover bands, and people ripping other people's shit off. You can't. You don't see recipes or people. No, I mean, it's not even a good. It's not even a good variety. You don't see. and here's the thing. It's not algorithmic. I know the things that I'm interested in because I search them out. I do the extra work. I do my homework. I go the extra mile. It doesn't bother me to physically make the effort to learn or go hear new bands or learn about new science or challenge my thoughts or beliefs. I'm not in a conscious scroll. I only use social media for the band and for business. I don't use it for pleasure. I don't look at feet. I don't gamble. I certainly don't generate AI computer generated music. You know, I'm a musician. Mm-hmm. Anyway.
Right.
So here we go. So he's saying it now. So when we signed up for this shit, they never told us this.
This is a direct quote.
So Mark never told us. You guys all remember. Let's all think back to when we signed up to MySpace, when we signed up to Spotify, when we signed up to all these apps, when we first logged on. Because they didn't tell us this. So I'm going to tell you it now, because now they're telling us. Now they're saying the quiet part out loud. Quote, first was all content was from friends, family, and accounts that you followed directly. Now that's why I fucking signed up. Mm-hmm. So they advertised that you were going to be with people that you knew, people that you could recognize. When you signed up to Facebook, they promised you and advertised and marketed this piece of software as a safe place. And I can prove that because he says here in a quote, Mark says, first, Facebook was when all content was from friends, family, accounts you followed directly. So think about what he's saying in there. I'll just unpack that for a second. He's saying at first, meaning he had plans later on that you never knew about. Secret phases. Mm-hmm. Secret phases and secret plans that none of us were a part of. He says first was when all content was from friends. You trust your friends. Friends are familiar. Friends are safe. He says family. And accounts that you followed. It seems to me here that he's admitting that at first, in order to get us on this software, we needed to trust it. And we wouldn't have done it unless our friends, our family, and people that we recognize were already on it. If we thought that we could be with people that we love, if we thought we could be with people that we trust and respected, then we would opt in. Damn, that is deceiving. Only to go on and say, quote, the second phase was when we added all of the creator content. Surprise, everybody, it's not for you. It's for businesses. It's for creators. I know, it's for civilians too. I know. But the minute it became about ad revenue and monetization, everybody, you did not sign up for Facebook thinking to yourself that you were going to be put through multiple phases where your friends and family and the things that you were familiar to and the places and spaces that you felt safe and your friends, the original reason why you opted into social media was because of those people. That was the first phase. The second phase was then for them to take that away. That's what he says. The second phase isn't about you. The second phase is about creators. So they marketed the idea of having safe, trustable, reliable, dependable faces around you all day. Facebook, friends, family, and accounts you follow directly. That means unless you followed people directly by your choice, you weren't assaulted by strangers, stalkers, manipulators, psychopaths, salesmen. Nope, but the second phase, we added all of the creator content. Now, as AI makes it easier to create and remix content, and we all know what a remix is. A remix is something that was created originally. And a remix is like taking a snapshot, distorting, changing. It's finding an original, taking a snapshot of that, and then manipulating, distorting, rearranging, copying, mimicking, covering. That's what a remix is. It's stealing. The second was when we added all the creator content. Now AI makes it easier to create and remix human beings' content. We're going to add yet another huge corpus of content, he told the shareholders. He didn't tell you that. Meta, which runs social media sites like Facebook, Instagram, Threads, is not only allowing people to post AI-generated content, which I don't have a problem with that. I don't care. You guys have heard my opinion about that. I think there should be a separate place for it. I think there should be a social media or a website or apps where they have all this sloppy shit. That's my point. It's launched products to enable more of it to be made. So the products have been launched only to make more of it. Image and video generators and increasingly powerful filters are now being offered across the board. So far, the only thing that people have done with it, Lex, is like image generating and using those images to hurt each other, you know?
Yeah.
Music is also an image, everybody. Sound waves and all of those things are also considered imagery. Like a song is a print. You know what I mean? Like, so if you steal somebody's print, you're stealing somebody's print. So I'm just showing this to y'all, man, so y'all know that they're constantly moving the needle. And as we go through these phases, as we find out what phase we're secretly all in,
right,
you'll know that's why it's so hard for any of us to actually master the learning curve. There are no more experts. Because as soon as you figure out cassettes, they're going to give you CDs, you know, and as soon as you master how to, you know, market yourself and use CDs, then they're going to be going to streaming. And as soon as you figure out the method and the institutions and systems that go along with that, there'll be a new trick. I forgot where we're at.
It's all about tricks.
It's all about gaming.
Mm-hmm.
Did you see this one here?
It keeps going to that.
Did we do this one already?
Do you really want to do this one?
I'm doing this one. It's fucking
we
crazy.
haven't done it. We've been avoiding it.
Okay. I was only avoiding it because of the ad crap.
Yeah.
Is that one? That's the one there too, right? That's the same one.
That's the same one.
Hold on a second. This one. It's the same one.
It's the same one.
Is that the same one across the board?
Da-da.
There's no more, right?
No. There's only two of them that are the
Okay.
same.
Let's say that. Okay. Well, let's cover it. I think it goes right after goes right into what we were just talking about. I'm gonna have to get away from this advertisement pornography. So we'll wait for that to come up. We're used to this now, so we pull up the articles and we won't change it to the article page until it's done buffering and breaking the stream.
So is this one breaking everything?
See, everything's lagging right now. It looks like the Matrix.
It's breaking.
It's because there's multimedia. So now. I'm not enjoying this at all.
No.
Oh, there. Hold on, it's going over there.
Oh dear.
It's annoying. This is how they do it. They make it so annoying that we won't talk about it.
To make it frustrating to talk about.
Oh my Lord, get the fuck out of here with this. I mean, am I ever going to make it? I don't think it's going to work. Unless I get rid of that. Wow, that's awful. I ain't going to lie to you.
Wow. It's a thumbs down.
It's a thumbs down, yo.
Wait, there's an X.
Where?
You see that yellow box?
Oh my God, please help me.
Closing.
Holy shit. We did it together.
Yay,
Hopefully.
teamwork.
See, you ain't getting out of it, Bill, you piece of shit. All right, guys.
Here we go.
Absorb it.
Take a minute.
I'm going to take a minute. Check my notes. I want to make sure, we don't miss any of this shit. Yep. I think before anything I should say that before we... Is something in your eye?
Yeah, it's itchy. Okay.
The number one... I think the number one... I'm not going to rank anything.
Okay.
One of the major concerns with the Epstein files, or the Trump files, whatever you want to call them at this rate, because they're the same thing. Only one of the major conflicts with the Trump and Jeffrey Epstein files is it's not determining guilt. It's not at the judicial level, okay? I'm going to be as clear as possible. It's at how can you have so much ugliness, okay, in one room? How can you have so much crime? How can you have so much shame and abuse in one story without a local police officer, an FBI agent, I don't know, the Power Rangers, the military, the Pope, without some responsible, accountable person following through with a thorough investigation. I'm not calling these people accusers anymore. They are victims. Why did we not move forward with responsible, thorough investigations for the victims? That is it. How can you have so much abuse and ugliness and shame in one story, wrapped into one story, one file? There's so much ugliness wrapped in the Donald Trump and Jeffrey Epstein file. There's so much ugliness wrapped into that one file and that one story. It is mind-boggling why no security guard, FBI agent, the Justice League, Batman, somebody should have taken a thorough, responsible report and followed through with an accountable public investigation. All hands on deck. You can't have thousands of victims and come up with an excuse why the security guard or the guy in the mailroom didn't look into this. That's it. While everyone's trying to figure out how to defend everybody or rush to guilt, my question is, when you have thousands of victims, where are the police? Where are the authorities? Who are the names of the people who took the original reports, and why did they fail to move forward? Why did they abandon 13-year-olds, 14-year-olds? Why did they abandon children? Stop calling them women. Stop calling them accusers. The victims of Jeffrey Epstein were children. There may have been a woman or two in there. I don't know. Fuck sakes. I don't. That's a separate topic in itself. I wouldn't be shocked. But let's stay on topic. Forget about rushing to guilt. Forget about court cases. Let's go all the way back and see what time was the allegation. What time was one particular allegation taken? At what month? At what minute? By whom? Who was on duty that day? And who was on duty with him? And when was it filed? And who looked at that report? And who was responsible for the follow-up? Where were authority figures? Where were the police? Another indication of if you're anybody like me, you know that the police aren't here to do anything for us.
Right. They're not.
Because where were they? Forget about
covering this up.
Right.
Covering up abuse.
Just
across the board.
Just like YDC. The state of New Hampshire hired grown security to take on the custody and care of children. The state of New Hampshire's own children, to care and to take custody of them, to look after them, and the state of New Hampshire abandoned and failed to prosecute thousands of violent abuse and sex crimes that were reported over and over and over, and people want to know. We don't want to know necessarily who's involved. We know who's involved in the Epstein list. We can see it. We don't need to go over innocence and guilt. That's a process that we figure out in court. But in order to get to a courtroom, there's an investigation. We want to know at what level did law enforcement and authority give up and abandon a 14-year-old girl, a 13-year-old girl, a child? When did law enforcement, who was on duty, who was in the building when law enforcement officials abandoned to investigate each and every name in the Epstein files? I don't think everybody, and this is what I'm going to say, I don't think everybody in the Epstein files raped little girls. I don't think every single person in every single name and every single company, I don't think that's the case. I don't think everybody in the Epstein files hurt children. I don't think that that's necessarily the case. I don't think that every single allegation is an observable truth. There could be a lot of slop in there, no question. But every politician, every celebrity, and every company in the Epstein files should be made and forced to come in public. They should be made physically to be brought forth in front of public. Every company, every politician, every celebrity, every public figure if they are named in the Epstein files, because they are public figures, they should be brought forward publicly and be made to explain publicly the depths, the details, and their frequency of relationship with Jeffrey Epstein. Every politician, doesn't matter what team you play for, if your name is in the Epstein files, you should be forced, before we buy another ticket, before we vote for you, before we watch any of your television shows, before we buy another movie ticket, whether you're a politician, I don't give a fuck if you're a dancer, if your name is in the Epstein files, you should be forced, before you're ever hired again for office, public service, or hired for a movie, before you're able to be hired to draw cartoons and animation or work on the internet, for people to accept you and for the public to restore credibility with people like Bill Gates, he should come forward and sit down in a public forum and answer questions about the frequency of his relationship with the most notorious sex trafficker in the history of the Bible.
Let's get into it.
Wow.
It's a lot to unpack.
Damn. Like, I mean, what the fuck, y'all? And if you disagree,
Click off.
Get the fuck out of here.
Bye.
Bill Gates breaks his silence on being named in the Epstein files following claims he caught an STD from Russian girls. Now, look, I'm not saying that that's what happened.
That's a claim.
And look, I hope it didn't.
Absolutely.
Right, because if it didn't happen, then that means we can clear his name.
Mm-hmm.
Guys, the cool thing about Marilyn Manson not being protected by the statute of limitations, you guys didn't know Marilyn Manson's going back to court for the sex abuse claims.
Yeah, we covered that last week.
Okay.
You weren't here.
And he's no longer protected by the statute of limitations. And everyone's like, oh, no. No. Oh, yes. Because now it means if you love Marilyn Manson, he'll have his day in court. And now he will be in a public forum, or he will be able to clear his name across the board in public. Before, we would have never even known about it. It would have got squashed in the AI slop. But now, whether you're for or against the Clintons, for instance, they've agreed to come in a public forum and be questioned and have a conversation about their frequency, friendships, dealings with Jeffrey Epstein. And I think that that's fucking awesome.
That's incredible, yeah.
Whether you like him, whether you hate him, I don't give a shit one way or another. The cool part is, if you like Bill Clinton, then good for you, because he will be in a public forum trying to probably clear his name from the Epstein files. If you don't like him, good for you. The news is he will be now available in a public forum where he will be questioned and cross-examined, right? Hopefully under oath, if that even matters, but anything is something at this point.
He's the only one that they subpoenaed,
oh God.
and
Look
he's actually showing up
You fucking
to do
bastards. They did it to me. You gotta go. See how they did it? They fucking did it. I'm so mad.
Yeah, it's annoying.
The internet really is truly broken. You know what I would do if I was a developer? I'd make a new internet. One without sex offenders and multi-flash media.
That no one wants.
Golly. What happened here? Oh, no.
They made it too big.
Is that what happened? I didn't know you could do that.
Yeah. Pop it down a little bit.
All right. You might as well read it now. You're closer. Go ahead.
Are you sure?
Sure.
Okay. Bill Gates has spoken out following claims made against him in recent release of files relating to Jeffrey Epstein's case. Among the 3 million new set of files that have been released, it was alleged that the Microsoft co-founder caught an STD from Russian girls. Gates has not been accused of wrongdoing by any of Epstein's victims, and it is not an indication of so for people to be named or pictured in the files relating to Epstein's case, and many have denied this. The latest release of documents with 3 million pages, images, and videos contains allegations against public figures like Andrew Mountbatten Windsor, as well as the tech billionaire who apparently met with the disgraced financier to discuss philanthropy work. Speaking in an interview with Australia's 9 News Today on the 4th of February, he said the focus was always he knew a lot of very rich people, and he was saying he could get them to give money to global health.
But isn't that what everybody, when it comes to Jeffrey Epstein, that's what everybody says. When people say, "Hey, what are you doing in that picture with a sex trafficker?" I mean, how many people at home, if you guys are still with us, how many people at home, put a 1 in the chat, if you recently went to a barbecue with a sex offender? Because I don't think you have. Like, why when we talk about, like, why do we move the Overton window? Okay, in terms of Donald Trump and Jeffrey Epstein being alleged, or in Jeff's case, a convicted sex offender. Like, why do we move? Like, it's not like he's, like, pretending. He's a convicted child abuser. Like, what the fuck are you doing hanging out with him?
How did you miss that? Like, didn't someone say, like, watch out for, like...
No, this shit is crazy.
You think no one knew that? Like,
no,
and
everyone says the same.
How dumb do you think we are? People read, you know?
And everybody says the same thing. Like, well, you know, he has a lot of money. He was going to give me some money for a charity. For kids!
Ew.
I'm just going to stop there.
Yeah.
So apparently, you know, his wife or whatever, his ex-wife.
Yeah.
She came out today and she was like, look, man, he's got to come clean. Apparently he got an STD in the emails drafted by Epstein in July 2013. He alleged that Gates had contracted an STD as a consequence to the tycoon having sex with, you know, Russian girls. That was sent from the financier's account, delivered back to the same one. One message addressed to Bill read, quote, "To add insult to injury, you then subsequently, with tears in your eyes, implore me to please delete the emails regarding your STDs. Your request that I provide you antibiotics that you surreptitiously give to Melinda, and description of your his little body parts or whatever, you know what I mean?" Yo, wow. Now we know why they broke up. Yeah, but that's what we're dealing with. I'm not saying that who cares even, like, we'll get into the what the
a lot to unpack.
Right, what the frequency of guilt is and all of that. That's something different. That's something that's a whole topic and conversation we can have on another time. Yeah. But the what I want to show is the very reality is when we come on and we talk about, hey, you know, the music industry is owned by the very limited few super companies at the top, and this looks evil and criminal and abusive, and we're hoping that all the musicians pay attention to this stuff. That we feel like streaming is hurting people and stealing money from us, and we're trying to do our best to educate people on that. The reason, like, that's really the reason for the podcast, but this goes hand in hand. Like, these are the Microsoft, Nike, and and Shell and HP. These are the companies. These are the symbols of success in America that we're all supposed to trust. We're supposed to leave our families and leave our neighborhoods to go work for these companies like Amazon. You're supposed to leave your parents and go trust into the church and trust into these systems and institutions. You've spent your whole life, going to school or learning music or just investing in gear, right? Or paying your dues. And all you want to do is upload your music, and get credit for it and get paid fairly. And this is the people and the systems and the behavior and the mentality of the people and personalities that are in charge of all of this technology and software. These are the same people that sold us and pretty promised us that it was going to be free and safe. It's crazy.
It's wild stuff.
Your microphone's off.
What?
Yeah, your microphone probably died. Well, luckily for you guys, that's crazy. That's all we'll do for today because Lexi's microphone just died. Did it shut off? No, it's off. It died. Well, we could get more batteries, but I think we're good for the night because it's an hour. An hour is up. Thank you guys so much for hanging out with us. We will be back next Wednesday at 7 p.m. Thank you so much for hanging out with us on the Sepsiss Show. They can't hear what you're saying. I'll just hit the thing again.